What's up guys, welcome back to the vlog. Fancy seeing me here. It's been a very long time since I've been on YouTube, since I uploaded on YouTube rather. I think the last video that I put up was me camping in Albury, so that's like what, over a month ago maybe? Life has been hectic, man. So much has happened. This is weird, the phone's really low. I'm gonna sit down instead. Move, dogs! Yeah, so much has happened, and I've actually tried filming like 2 update vlogs since, but I just didn't have the time to edit them and to upload them, and by the time that happened, more things were happening, and I was like, oh, what's the point of uploading this when it's sort of just, it's out of date, and it just kept being pushed back, and yeah, so much has happened. The last video that you guys saw was me camping in Albury. Since then, I got absolutely molested by the weather over there. I sold my bike, then I bought another bike. I also bought myself a vest, and then I got myself a job at a local cafe just working as a waiter, trying to get into the barista scene. I bought myself a hat, and then I paid off all my debt. Those two were not related. And then I got my Kawasaki back finally, which is awesome, but that meant that I was once again in debt. And then I decided to buy my bike dad's business where he sells duck eggs for a living. So yeah, a lot has happened. You probably have a lot of questions. We don't really have time to address all of them, so I'll address the most important one in that whole sequence, and that is this vest. Yes, I did get it on sale, and yes, it is custom. I sewed on these badges myself, and I really like it. So much has happened. What is happening now? Somehow I scored a gig at Vicky's work. So technically we're working together. Each year her company has like a end of year film festival, and it just gets more ambitious and more ambitious each year. It started off just like a talent show where people just submit like 2-minute clips. And then now it's turned into like a full feature-length film. It's like over an hour long. The narrative is really convoluted. Think of it as like a dystopic, multiversal type narrative where everyone's leaving the company, and they also, there's like different dimensions all happening at the same time, and they all snap out of it, and then they all sort of come back together, and they wake up, and it's all like a dream sequence type thing. It's friggin' crazy, man. And so like the editor that they hired in the first place, he cracked the shits because he was like, I have no idea what's going on. And so the video needs to air sometime next week, and they're left without an editor, and so here I come along trying to piece things together. So it's been fun, it's been interesting. I've been sort of involved in this film festival over the past few years, unofficially, but this is like my first time actually being involved officially, and I've sunk like over 40 hours into editing so far. So it's a good piece of cash on the side. Vicky is in New South Wales. She has been away for the past few days, and she's gonna have to spend the next week or so there just putting out some fires, which is unfortunate because we're gonna miss our birthdays together, which is a bit sad. Life has been a bit weird without her. I didn't realize that she contributed to so much of my structure. As the house is falling apart, things have been weird. Yesterday I ate 4 croissants for dinner. 2 of them were toasted. So what are we doing today? Today I'm gonna make a whole bunch of ass. I'm gonna make a whole bunch of ass for the children. Let me explain that. So I've teamed up with my friend's sister who runs this sort of Christmas initiative where she makes dumplings and she donates 50% of her profits to a leukemia foundation. I think that's what it is. And she asked me, hey, look, do you want to make some chili oil? Because I think it'll work well. And I said, hell yeah, let's do it. This was before everything got really busy, and now I'm sort of regretting it. But I've already said yes. She's already sold like 25 jars, so I need to make them. And if I don't make them today, then I'm never going to be able to make them in time. And yeah, so that's what we're going to do today. I'm going to bring you along with me. I'm not going to involve you in the whole process because I can't be bothered, frankly. But yeah, see you in the kitchen. Alright guys, we're just about ready to get started. By the way, this isn't food that I've left on my mouth. I've got this weird lip infection. I tried to trim my moustache, it got infected. I'm dealing with it. Anyways, the kitchen is more or less cleaned. I need to sanitize the jars. And this time around I'm going to try and use the washing machine. This is real exciting for me because normally the last time I did it, the most time-consuming part of this whole process is sanitization of the jars and also putting the chili oil into the jars. So I also have one of these. It's like a big jarring funnel. So I'm pretty excited about that. Also, this time around, I found a local distributor of jars, and they sell basically the same jar that I've been using. It's identical. But much cheaper, because it's local, I just go there and I pick it up. These ones were like 70 cents each, which is as cheap as the previous one, but then when you have to pay like $25 on top for shipping, it really just blows it out. So excited about that. I have an order for like 25 of these jars. I'm going to just try to fit as many as I can into here. I think I've got 35 in total, so I'm just going to try and make 35 jars just in case if there's extras I need to sell, and if I have any left over, then it can be a good Christmas present. So I'm going to go ahead and load this up. Alright, so I've got all the jars down here and most of the lids and a few more jars up here. This is already a game changer because before this I literally submersed them all into a pot and I boiled them for like 10 minutes. So really happy with this. This washing machine is so good. Cool. Make sure that the water's on. Cool. Alright. So while that is sanitizing, I am going to make my spiced oil. Alright, so I'm just going to pour this vegetable oil into this pot, heat it up. I just realized that the bottle that I bought doesn't have a lid, which is, that's definitely going to be a problem. Whatever. So I'm actually never sure how much oil I should be using. But I like to make a little bit more than I actually need, because it's much easier to just have leftover oil than having to add in some oil later on, which isn't spiced. This should be okay. I don't have a lid. Far out, god damn it. And then now I've just got all these spices. This was a step which I originally tried to skip, because I was like, does spicing the oil really add any flavor or anything? And the answer is no, it doesn't, but it adds fragrance. And I just feel like that little step, just I think it's important. And it's just a few bucks here and there. You need to heat up the oil anyway, so might as well So I just have all my spices in here, and I just drop it into the oil using a strainer. And so the oil is just going to heat up, and then it's going to infuse the oil with all of those spices. Alright, so I've got all my ingredients for the chili oil. This time I'm going to try using this. It says, it's called dried hottest chili. I got it from the Asian grocery store. I usually just use regular Thai chili flakes. These ones are also Thai chili flakes, but just the fact it says dried hottest chili, I had to try it. It's funny because like when I was looking at that, this Thai lady was standing next to me, and she looked at it, she pointed at it, and she was like, "This is the good shit." I was like, "Okay, wow, okay, let's give it a try." With my chili oil, it's not meant to be something that's like really spicy. It's supposed to be more of like an umami, flavorful chili oil. In saying that, the heat factor is something that I've been wanting to increase. So, and a majority of the heat does come from the chili flakes. Sometimes I do add in like fresh chilies, fresh habaneros. But yeah, this time, hopefully this does something. The Thai lady seemed to think it was really hot, and she was like, "I like spicy food." So I was like, "Alright, cool, let's give that a try." So the downside to this is that it's obviously in whole chilies. I've never made my own chili flakes. I'm just going to run it through the food processor. Hopefully that works. If this is pretty easy, then next time, instead of just buying chili flakes, I'm going to buy dried whole chilies, because that way I can make my own blends and it's a lot cheaper. Scared. Yeah, it's a bit. Oh god, holy crap! It's a bit thicker than or coarser than what I normally like. So it's not bad. Woo! Oh god damn. Alright, so I'm actually really curious to see if this extra hot chili flake is in fact extra hot. So I've got some of the original chili flakes, and then some of these chilies which I just ground up. I guess I'll start off with the original ones first. Why do I do this? Yep, okay, that's pretty spicy. Okay. Alright, okay, so that's pretty spicy. Pretty standard. I'm scared. Alright, let's try some of the super hot ones that I just ground up. Oh my god, holy shit. Wow, okay. Oh, yeah, that's much hotter. Oh, I need water. No, water's not good, I need milk. Where's the milk? Oh. Alright, subjectively, I'd say that this one, which I just ground up, is probably 3 or 4 times spicier than the original one. Oh. Oh, alright, so that's the chili flakes. Time to make the wet ingredients, which is a mash of capsicum and garlic. Woo! Alright, and that, folks, is a shit ton of capsicum and garlic. Normally when I make this, Vicky always says that she wishes that the garlic flavor was a bit more pronounced, so this time I put a bit more. It's actually kind of funny because I went to the doctor recently because I was like constantly gassy and bloated and I had a bit of IBS, and she was like, okay, that's interesting. So you're not celiac? No. Do you eat a lot of garlic and chili? I'm like, no, why? Alright, so all the prep work is done. It's time to actually start cooking. I can smell the fragrant oil already. It's smelling really nice. And then soon enough, this whole house is going to smell like chilies and garlic. I'm going to open up every window and every door in this house because it's like honestly, it's the worst thing about making this. The house smells like garlic for the next week or so, and it's pretty overwhelming. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and we can start cooking. Oh, the air is spicy. Alright. Alright, already I can tell that this one is much more spicier. Way more spicier than the last ones. Ooh, it's like a, it's like right in your face. Instant heat. And then it's just there. It's just burning. That's good, that's good. That's what I want. Wow. Yeah, that's spicy. Alright, I just need to work on a bit of the flavor now. Oh god. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, it's so hot. Jesus Christ. Woo. Oh my gosh, I'm so sweaty. Alright, I think that's done. I'm pretty happy with that. Oh, my throat. So it's hot. It's much hotter than usual. The flavor's still there. The consistency's great. I'm really happy with it. I have a feeling I made way more than I needed, but that's okay. Oh, I'm gonna clean up the kitchen and then we're gonna get to jarring. You know what sucks? It's like a few millimeters too big. That's so annoying. Oh, this was like $17. No! Oh, I'm pissed off. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I guess I'll have to use my regular poop funnel. It's got a poop funnel because it comes out from that little spout like a little poop. I don't really like using this because it's very long. Maybe I can cut it. Oh, I'm just annoyed. Fire up. I wonder if there's like... Maybe I can make like a little adapter. No, that's dumb. That's stupid. Oh. This is really frustrating. So... I guess for next time, I get a wider mouth jar, which I was thinking of doing that anyways, though they're a little bit more expensive, or I just try to buy another funnel. This is really frustrating, guys, like... okay, alright, let's just do this. Let's just do this. This is what I mean by the poop funnel. Comes out like poop. Oh. What I also do is I normally get a chopstick and I stir the poop around so that it can go through the poop puddle. Alright, this is ridiculous. No, I'm gonna see if I can buy another funnel because I'm just pissed. I'm already annoyed. Alright, so I'm walking around the shopping centre now. I went to Kmart. I went to those, you know, those shops that seem to always have those closing down sales, but they never seem to close down. Those ones. No one has any funnels. Why is it so hard to find friggin' funnels? Like, do people not use funnels anymore? No funnels. Alright, that was a massive waste of time. No one sells funnels anymore. I'm surprised that Kmart didn't sell it as well. Normally you can get anything from Kmart. I'm seriously considering modifying this. Like, I can cut this so it's not as long, but I'm thinking maybe I can use like a hole cutter and just make this hole bigger. I might try that. I might regret it, but screw it, whatever. Alan's ADHD adventures. Pretty happy with that. Alright, let's go. Let's go back inside. Let's make some chili oil. Still need to use the chopstick, but it's much faster. Alrighty. I honestly thought I was gonna make heaps more. Like heaps more. But I actually struggled to make 35. How many did I make? I got 24 here, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I made 29 and then I'm not gonna really count these because there's not much dregs in it. So these are just gonna be extras. So now what I need to do is just put on the stickers on these jars. And as you can probably tell, guys, like there's still a lot to this process that I need to fine tune. The reason why I was a bit hesitant to make these jars is because like I'm just not happy with the packaging. The last time I made a batch, I sent them out interstate and quite a few of the jars broke in shipment, which I felt really bad about. And so I figured that if I was going to do this properly, that's something that I definitely need to figure out. Like the packaging, ideally like the packaging and putting the stickers on and putting the oil into the jars Ideally, I just get that all done in a factory or something. I mean, ideally, I won't even be making this myself. I'd imagine that you can just sort of like send out your recipe to someone in a commercial kitchen or like a sauce factory, and they can just make it all in like batches, in thousands. But the reason why I said yes to this is, to this little batch, is because my friend's sister who runs it, she's going to be hand delivering it to all of her customers. She said it's just like through friends and family. And it's like, yeah, really chill. They're not sending it out to anyone. Because, yeah, like, I do like the product. I think the product is awesome. It's just that I don't like the idea of sending it out and having it explode. Yeah, see, so this one's like half filled, so I'm gonna set that aside. I'd rather sell the ones which are like really filled up to the brim. This one could probably do with a little bit more oil, to be honest. So yeah, like, once I've got it in a factory, all this like fine tuning stuff needs to be figured out, which is going to be a fun process. So I guess I can use this time to sort of talk about a bunch of the changes that I mentioned earlier. I think I'll do another vlog just about the bikes, so we won't worry about that for now. First of all, I mentioned that I started working at a cafe job in hospitality. That's mainly just so I can understand the business, understand the hospitality sector, and just get a bit more insight on what it is like to run a cafe before I really like go into it and commit. Obviously, I have been toying with the idea of a coffee cart, which is very different to running a cafe. I do understand that. Whoa, check out these jars, filled to the brim. Whoever gets this is lucky. Yeah, so I was interested in running a coffee cart just because I thought it'd be cool, and mainly because I wanted to combine coffee and motorcycles. And so naturally I thought that running a cafe would be the best way to do it. But I've been working at this cafe down the road. It's called Fingers Crossed. I really like it there, it's really fun. I really enjoy working in hospitality, and I think I've always been a customer service type of guy. But I do see all the hard work that goes into running a cafe, and the profit and the margin doesn't look that great, to be honest. Especially since there's like so many overheads, like all the staff. You've got your barista, your waiters, your chefs, your kitchen hands. Then you have to pay rent. Then you have to pay for all the ingredients. Just seems like a lot. And if I'm looking at opening up a place where a portion of it will be dedicated to motorcycles, like that's going to be space that I won't be making money out of, to be honest. Like it's really going to be like I don't know, like just a cool aspect of the space. So in terms of like money, I don't know how that's going to work. Well, like coffee cart the overheads is much lower because you just have one person, probably me, or I'll hire a barista. At most you might have two. And then you're just making coffees. You might have like a few pastries here and there, but the cost of running it is much lower. And then you can sort of just have it in a space, like maybe strike a deal with a mechanic or a custom bike builder or something. I guess that's a dream. I'm not sure if I mentioned on the vlog before about Gary's business. So Gary's my bike dad. He's a guy who sort of started teaching me about motorcycle maintenance when I first got the Kawasaki. He was really nice. Just sort of eased me into it and taught me a whole bunch of things. So over the years, we sort of developed a relationship. And to be honest, I sort of see him as like almost like a father figure. And I like to think that he sees me like a son. That's just my fantasy that I tell myself in my head. No, Gary's great. And he's getting old. He's probably, I guess it'll be rude to guess how old he is. I'm gonna say late 60s. He runs a business, it's really random. So he is the middleman between duck egg farmers, well, I guess duck farmers, and quail farmers. So sorry, he's the middleman between duck and quail farmers and Vietnamese supermarkets and butchers. So basically what he does is Yo, what's up? It's Alan from the future. I no longer have herpes and I got a haircut. So yeah, life is good. Look, for the next 20 or so minutes in this vlog, I basically just ramble on about Gary's business, and upon reflection, I think I might have said a few things which I don't really want to have out there, just to keep Gary and his business and just the whole thing under wraps. So I guess all that you guys need to know about this whole situation is that duck eggs are lit. I'm hoping that it all pans out, and if it does, next year is going to be a real interesting one. That's all you guys need to know for now. And that's all I have to say. I'm going to go back to the future now. Anyways, look, I've packed all these jars. I've got, what was it? 29? Yeah, 29 jars. $28 jars. I've got 28 jars, and here I've got 3 jars, which, I don't know, like, I mean, this one's not too bad. 29 jars. I've got 29 jars, which I've made, and then 2 jars, which are extras. I think only 25 were ordered. So that's good. I'm actually just gonna give them all to her and be like, if you can sell more, sell them all. And whatever's left over, you can either keep as a Christmas gift. And yeah, so pretty happy with that. I need to, once I am ready to sort of scale this and do this properly, I need to figure out like the recipe, obviously, like getting the recipe down pat, getting all the measurements down pat, and then mainly just getting the process, you know, like getting the right jars, getting the right lids, making sure that they're vacuum sealed, maybe taking it to I think honestly just taking it to a factory where they can just jar it and do it all for me, and I just pay them a fee, because I've spent like what, 3 hours just packaging, like putting it into the jar, cleaning up the jars, putting the lids on, putting the labels. That's taken me around 2 to 3 hours. The actual cooking doesn't take too long, to be honest. That was like another 1 hour, I think. But yeah, if I can just streamline that, that'll be great. And then I also need to figure out like how I can ship these. So like, again, packaging. But yeah, for now, I'm pretty happy with what I've done so far. So these are all done. These 2 jars over here, I'm going to fill up with a little bit more oil, just because the dregs are sort of above the level. So I'm going to go and do that. But anyways, Thanks so much for watching. This is probably going to be a long one, but that's all good. I don't know when I'm going to get time to upload more videos. Hopefully after I finish this film that I'm editing for Vicky's work, then I'll have a bit more time. But I'm going to leave you guys there. Thank you so much for watching. And we'll catch up in the next one. Peace. Bye.